Hello, it's SK Williams, and it seems that I have jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. What do I mean by that? Well, I've just now gotten to the point where I can do new commentary or respond to people with emails. Not really, but I will within a week if all things go as they are progressing currently. This week, I'm going to take a lady friend to the cinema for a night of theater. We're going to go see Frozen 2. It's not that impressive. Anyway, I live in the United States of America, so there is the Thanksgiving holiday, which is also problematic for me. My family never liked me very much, but that doesn't really matter because right now my family doesn't like each other very much. There's 2 Thanksgivings we were invited to, but one of them is actually not going to happen now. Technically there were 3, but one was already cancelled, so I don't have to worry about that one. Now all I have to worry about is if I go to my aunt's, who is my grandmother's sister, or my uncle, who is my mother's brother, because they don't like each other, and instead of having 1 Thanksgiving, there's 2, but my uncle is now in the hospital after surgery, which hopefully will restore his ability to walk. He also has dementia. We may be going instead to hospital to have Thanksgiving, or maybe we'll just have it at the Cracker Barrel with some other people. I don't know what's going to happen. Welcome to my life. But what I do know is that on Thanksgiving Day, I will be celebrating Thanksgiving with my mother and a special friend of mine. I just don't know where or with whom else I shall be conducting such celebrations. Which means that this week's docket is a bit full. Tuesday, I am going to cinema, and Thursday is, of course, Thanksgiving. And Friday, we have some other gatherings and such to do. But next week, starting at Advent, I have no more schoolwork, no more regular work to get in the way, so I plan on catching up on emails, which I had promised some people a while back, and on doing some new projects. And then, of course, the COPA news hit, and the new policies for YouTube hit. I've already announced certain things, though. I'm not going to be doing animation on YouTube any longer. At least for the time being, until I get some clarification on what that entails. While I've been doing a terrible job at it, largely because I haven't been able to dedicate much time to the channel or perfecting my craft, I did want to build a community, which means I wanted an active comment section to be available for people who wish to leave feedback on my channel. If my videos are marked for children, that won't be there any longer. In fact, a lot of things won't be there. They won't be able to add my videos to playlists or share them either. And the easy solution of simply not labeling my videos for children may not work because they may be seen as child attractive somehow anyway. They attract children. My videos are animated, and it's not like I do a lot of vulgar jokes. I'm not producing Family Guy. I'm producing commentary and largely family-friendly videos. But my core audience is college students, not children, because I'm trying to put out college materials. So what I've decided to do is this. For the most part, I have different channels that I host videos on, but they are all the same. They're just basically backups. There are differences in what order I load the videos, and sometimes I do an exclusive for one or the other, especially if it's an update that only concerns it. But for the most part, the videos you see on my YouTube channel are on my BitChute channel, which is my other channel that I regularly update. And in total, I have 5 video sharing sites, although one of them I never used because I could never figure out how to get it to work, and I've only ever posted 1 video on it, and don't exactly know how I did that, and that's DTube. I have, in addition to YouTube, BitChute, Dailymotion, and Minds. And each of them have their own unique benefits and drawbacks as a format. For example, Minds is more of a blog outpost, and it's very oddly laid out. and the videos can only be 15 minutes long, so it's mostly just there for short things, and I don't know what I do with my mines. I just sometimes go there and update it. It's not really a primary video sharing outlet for me, though it may go up in value with all of the shenanigans going on at YouTube right now. The two best platforms, though, in terms of just layout of the sites and how they function, and of course based upon policies and restrictions, would be Dailymotion and BitChute, with BitChute being by far the best because of its unquestioning support for free speech. A lot of people complain about BitChute, though, because that translates to them having a lot of what is called far right-wing content and neo-Nazis and white supremacists. The truth of the matter is, of course, that far right does not mean racist, but that's another matter. It does have a lot of neo-Nazi and white nationalist and white supremacist content. But so what? If enough people were to migrate over to BitChute and have channels there and actively update them, then the white supremacist content would still be there, sure, but it would no longer be a hallmark that defines the channel. And I do think that BitChute could become a nice home for loads of people and a nice site if enough people went there. But there are drawbacks to BitChute, and one of them is that the search feature is terrible. It gets you nice results, not as great as something like YouTube has, but the way the search features are laid out is rather unflattering, shall we say. Dailymotion, on the other hand, limits you to 45-minute long videos and only 10 of those a day, and it does have some crackdowns on what you can and can't show, although it is far looser than YouTube, and again, it is not an American company, it is French, so it is not subject to COPPA. What I'm actually planning on doing, though, is this. I'm no longer going to basically use each channel as a backup for the others, although I will use each channel as a failsafe for at least one other. For instance, if I load a video on BitChute, I may also load it on Dailymotion in order to ensure that if something happens to or on one of the sites, the videos are still up on the other. So none of my video channels will be pure to purpose. None of them will have only one type of video I post and no other. I will still cross-pollinate, but I am going to assign meaning to each channel. And I haven't worked out all the details yet, but here are my plans. The first is YouTube. YouTube is now going to become a lecture channel for me. No more animation will be produced for YouTube. Instead, you will hear my voice in what is essentially a podcast, set to either a static background or maybe a slideshow, or if there is animation, it won't be animation in the form of cartoon characters, but visual effects, maybe like a kaleidoscope or stars passing. Something that gives a nice ambient background that isn't explicitly something children would necessarily gravitate toward. I still intend on doing a form of my college series, but mostly I'm just going to give lectures as if I'm a university professor giving out the materials. They are predominantly study guides, after all. I'm not going to do the fictional story narrative framing that I had done traditionally, that I was planning on doing for the channel. My college series will still be made and still be available, though I'm simply going to post it on BitChute from now on. But I'll get to that in a minute. On YouTube, I'm going to host college coursework as if I am a lecturer or professor. I'm not, but that's the format I'm choosing. And I'm also going to do 2 or 3 forms of commentary, but it's mostly going to be audio, and that's the way that's going to be presented. I'm also going to do a few audio novels, some that other people wrote and some that I wrote, some stories that I will tell. But there's not going to be accompanied with animation either, and some will be exclusive to YouTube. YouTube is now going to be more of my reference channel. It's predominantly there for me to sit here and tell you about things. But it won't be a place where I host films and fictionalized stories, or whimsical commentary where I'm a cartoon character. However, there will be some cross-pollination in a way between it and BitChute still. For instance, a lot of the same commentaries that show up on YouTube will be on BitChute, but in the traditional format, meaning you will see the cartoon version of me delivering the commentary. The audio track will be the same between both, but BitChute will have the animation. However, BitChute is going to be my primary channel for most of my projects from now on. My college series, which is an animated series based upon my college coursework, where I actually tell stories that illustrate the ideas of what I learned in college, will be on BitChute. I may also host it on Dailymotion, but Dailymotion will not be the primary home for it. I'm planning on doing an edited or truncated version on Dailymotion, in fact, because of the aforementioned restrictions on length. BitChute is going to be the home of most of my animated work, and most of my storytelling. Most of my fiction will be on BitChute, even the audio novels. While I'll do some for YouTube, I'm going to make that more the classy, upbeat ones or the special event ones. Most of my fiction will be on BitChute. This does leave a question of the Bible, though. I want the Bible on both of them, but I'm not sure how to proceed when it comes to YouTube. I'll figure something out. As for Dailymotion, I almost never get views on Dailymotion anyway, so I'm planning on putting a few fun little cartoons and maybe a few movies there. And I can tell anyone who might be interested, hey, I did a movie, it's on Dailymotion, and I would post that video on BitChute or perhaps even YouTube. Dailymotion will become sort of a place for my more whimsical cartoons, certain forms of my fiction, just like BitChute, and for feature-length projects. Each one of the channels will host at least some of the content on the other channels, but the primary focus will be different. And again, I haven't worked out all the details yet. But for the most part, YouTube is going to be purely about lectures. Dailymotion will be my cartoon world, and Dailymotion will be feature films and whimsical stories. I'll give more detail later on. But for now, I'm going to let you go. Thank you, God bless, and goodbye.